What is going on, everybody? So Bronson here for our Monday Night Raw review for May the 24th, 25th, 2020. Was it that hard? Was it so hard to go out there and get performance talent, performance center talent, and NXT talent and put them in the crowd? I have been saying this for fucking weeks. We needed a crowd for these shows, and what the fuck? We had a crowd tonight. We had an audience. Finally, this show had an audience for the first time since the middle of March. I will say, the opening segment for this crowd was horrible. Leave it to WWE to fuck up a crowd in in-ring promo. Kevin Owens started with the Kevin Owens show, and the crowd was so forced. But after that, it sounded a lot better. Man, gee, what a difference this makes. The fact that we have a crowd. It didn't help completely. I mean, fuck, WWE decided we're gonna do a crowd, but we're gonna go one step further. Since our barricade is no longer the guardrail that we used to use back in the day, and we have this solid shit, let's put another one, let's put another part of that on the other side, and put glass, like plexiglass, all around the ring, so it looks like you're watching a hockey game. That's what they did tonight. But hey, it was better than having nobody. AEW has been doing this, except for like the second and third week of this entire COVID thing. They've been doing this every week. And it has made... Austin Gunn does it well on his own. Austin Gunn is like the MVP of their crowds. But for WWE to finally adapt to this, it's about damn time. Now, I don't know what they're going to do for NXT. Are they going to have Raw and SmackDown talent at NXT tapings? I don't have a clue. NXT uses the guardrail like AEW does, so I don't know how they're going to do that, what they're going to do, but they need a crowd as well. All three shows need a crowd. Tonight, that was a positive of this show. What wasn't a positive is the Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens welcomed us to Monday Night Raw, actually acknowledged the crowd, let them know they're in for a treat tonight, as later on he's taking on Angel Garza. But for now, it's the Kevin Owens show, and his guest is here to talk about the triple threat match for tonight, which will see Natalya, Charlotte Flair, and Nia Jax, which they tried to justify that these three women earned a spot in the match tonight because all three women are former champions, or in Charlotte's case, she is a current champion. I'm sorry, what? Since when does being a former champion of any division warrant you a number one contendership match for a championship? That just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Anyway, he brings her out. He says, before you even talk about the triple threat, I want to show you what you have to think about last week. Shows us what happened in the ring when they made Nia Jax look like a fool. And then when she attacked Kyrie. And then when she made Nia Jax look again like a fool. And then before she can really say much other than she said Kyrie a couple times, which, by the way, when she came out originally, she was chanting Becky again. They gave Becky's the mom shirt a cheap plug. I don't know why WWE continues to harp on Becky Lynch's pregnancy. We get it. It was a few weeks ago. Congratulations to Becky and Seth. Can we move the fuck on already? Now, Asuka looks to talk some more, but out comes Charlotte Flair to just, be Charlotte Flair, and says that title should have been handed to her. Out comes Natty. You see where this is going. Natty, of course, Kevin Owens is like, I'm sorry, Natty, there's no chairs out here for you to destroy. I took care of everything just because what happened last week. Natalya says, I'm sorry about that last week. It shouldn't have happened. I don't know what got into me. But that was all she did there. Charlotte Flair called her a kiss up. Why are you going to kiss up to try and get into his title shot and everything? And then out came Nia Jax. She's like, can we just stop? So we all know I'm going to be the next Raw Women's Champion. And Asuka, be prepared. Because at Backlash, what I did to Kairi Sane last week is only a fraction of what I'm going to do to you when I bulldoze you for the Women's Championship. Kevin Owens says, Asuka, if you do anything, don't hit Nia in the face. So Nia hits a back fist into the face. She and Asuka and Nia Jax brawl. Asuka is taking that again. Natalya and Charlotte Flair brawling, and Asuka is left standing. So, again, terrible opening promo. I hate these fucking talk show segments in WWE. We don't fucking need them. You hit gold back in the day with Piper's Pit. You struck lightning twice. You hit like lightning as a strike twice often, but you did with the highlight reel. But everything else after that has been subpar to average. You've had the Peep Show, Radiator's, Edge's, whatever the fuck his show is called. JTG had a show back in the day for a minute. You've had all these fucking talk shows. You have Moment of Bliss, the Kevin Owens show. Dean Ambrose had a show for a minute. We don't need fucking talk shows. They are stupid. They end one of three ways. Either you have a match set up, a brawl that leads to a match later in the night. Okay, so the first one is usually we have a challenge that goes to a match right after the show goes off break. A brawl that leads to a match later on, or you have a babyface get laid out or made look stupid. I don't want to see a fucking talk show. They always end some way. And if you're in Alexa Bliss's case, someone always interrupts her show. So why the fuck do I want to continue to see these shows? We go to the back, and Apollo Crews is asked about his match tonight, and he says he'll beat Andrade tonight and become the new United States champion. And then we go into that match, Apollo Crews versus Andrade. Of course, as you know, a couple weeks ago, right before Money in the Bank, Apollo Crews had a match with Andrade, and he was kayfabe injured because by the time Apollo Crews was entered into Money in the Bank, the match was already taped, and Apollo Crews was not originally in that match, but they needed to use it to get AJ Styles into the match. He got injured in kayfabe. They took him out of the match. He came back last week, and here he is challenging for the U.S. title. Why? Because he can. He is all over Andrade from the start. Gets a stalling suplex and just drops Andrade. Gets a 2 count. Andrade with a huge Judas Effect black elbow type smart attack. Gets a 2. Hammerlock blocked, and Apollo deadlifts Andrade. Vega, he's got him up above him. He's deadlifting him. Vega gets up. Apollo puts down Andrade. Goes over, is like, what are you doing? He gets out of the way as Andrade comes over to try and attack him for the distraction. That doesn't work. He almost runs into Vega. Turns around, he eats a shot from Apollo, and then he falls right into Vega. Vega falls to the outside. Andrade goes out there, checks on her. We go to a short picture-in-picture so we can get the AJ Styles promo that we got when he made his return when he entered Money in the Bank. Now, during that whole time, nothing's happening in the ring. He's sitting there checking on her. She tells him to get back into the ring. Apollo comes out. He's pissed off. He's beating the hell out of Crews, throws him into the barricade, and Vega says she's fine. Doctors and officials want to try and get her out of there, but she's like, no, I'm fine. I got this. I'm fine. Andrade sends Apollo back into the ring, gets a 2 count. Andrade's working on the left arm. Crews fights up back. Huge rights by Apollo. Apollo all over Andrade again in the corner. Big splash, goes for another one, but boots to the face. Andrade goes up for a jumping kick by Apollo. He goes up, and Andrade knocks him down into the tree of woe. Big double stomp, the old Alberto Del Rio finisher when he came back for his final stint. 2 count. Then we go backstage because Angel Garza is watching, and it's not Charlie Caruso, it's Caleb Braxton this time, and he's like, what in wrestling and matches is like making love to a beautiful woman, and I'm like, earphones out, I'm going to wait and have to watch this later. After all that, we see Crews launching Andrade into the corner, double knees on the corner, but Crews kicks out. I'm sorry, yeah, Andrade launched Apollo into the corner. Kicks by Andrade to the left leg as he's working on that injured leg. Executed by Crews, then a deadlift drop, then a standing moonsault, followed by a standing shoot star press. 1, 2, 3. Match is over. Apollo Crews is your new United States champion. Wow. What a little bit of sequence there. He picks him up, deadlifts, drops him, hits the moonsault, then the somersault. And then the shooting star press, just all standing up and gets the win. Great match for him. After the match, he is asked, what does this mean to him? You can see the emotion coming out of him. In 11 years, working his tail off for 11 years, people telling me he will never make it. And he did it. 11 years to make all this happen. He's new United States champion. So congratulations to Apollo Crews. He is your new U.S. champion. But I know WWE is pushing him a little bit. But will it make any matter? Is they going to do anything with Apollo Crews that they didn't do with Andrade? Probably not. We go to the back and Andrade is throwing a fit. He's throwing shit around, breaking stuff. He is not a happy camper with the fact that he lost his championship. Then we see somebody holding a Rey Mysterio mask. It pans up, and of course it's Seth Rollins. We come back from break, and we see Seth Rollins, who's in a better mood. And he's like, tonight is a night for celebration. The Monday Night Messiah is here and better than ever. And there is one man to thank, Rey Mysterio. He introduces Austin Theory as his new disciple, says both of these men understand what it's like to be held down, and both of these guys are going to be here for the reckoning, and we're going to go out, we're going to be able to go out there and do what we need to do. Austin Theory thought he had friends in Angel Garza and Andrade and Zelina Vega. They all abandoned him. Of course, Buddy Murphy didn't have... Yeah. He said they are both Austin Theory and Murphy both understand what it's like to be underutilized and underappreciated. That's half of the WWE locker room, mind you, Seth. Later, Murphy and Theory will take on Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo because they want to stand up for the fallen Rey Mysterio. Then we go to Charlotte, and she says she's the most consistent and hardest working woman in the company, and no one compares. Asuka just comes in, like just dancing around with the championship, and says to her, "Red is not your color." That was that. Then we hear the iconic music, and I'm like, well, time to mute this. As I say, when the Iconics, I'm sorry, when the Moronics are on my TV, it goes mute. They come out, we go to break, we come back. They looked like they were apologizing to each other, blah, 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 blah. Out come the tag team champions. Apparently, the Moronics think they should be tag team champions. Alexa Bliss is like, no, you guys had your chance and you blew it. Nikki Cross goes off on a amazing spiel. Basically, Nikki Cross goes off on the Iconics because he's questioning their friendship because they're a tag team. They didn't come into the business together like the Iconics and the Moronics did, because yes, they both signed their contracts at the same time. They grew up, they came up into the PC and the main roster together. But Nikki's like, Lexi has done a lot for me. She's kept me bouncing off the walls. She's helped me through a lot. I've even taught her a little thing about friendship, and I don't know if there's anything more iconic than that. These two teams brawl. The Moronics get the better of these two women, and it looks like we're going to be going to Backlash with a rematch between these two teams again. We do not need to see the Moronics winning the tag team titles. The VIP Lounge comes up next. It's special guest Drew McIntyre, who of course will be taking on Bobby Lashley at Backlash for the WWE Championship. Does Bobby Lashley have a chance? No way. Now, of course, MVP just ragging on Drew McIntyre, saying, I'm going to be part of the reason why you lose that championship. Drew McIntyre's, where is he? He comes out, I was like, where is he? Where is this guy? Where is Bobby Lashley? Because he knows it's set up. See, Drew McIntyre, they have been treating Drew McIntyre in creatively as a smart fucking babyface. He knows that he's coming out here, and it's not going to be one-on-one. It's going to be, he's going to come out here, they're going to jog back and forth, and then Bobby Lashley's going to come out from behind, attack him, and lay him out. He knows that. He knows better than that, and that is absolutely smart. Lashley eventually does come out. Before he can get into the ring, boom, a Claymore to one MVP. I'm sure he remembers that from a few months ago. Oh, wait, he never got, I'm sorry, that wasn't him, that was a spear. And before he can get in there, Drew McIntyre stares him down. And that was that. We go back, we come back, and it's KO versus Angel Garza. Or it was supposed to be Angel Garza versus Kevin Owens. But Angel Garza attacks Kevin Owens from behind before we get to break. We come back, Garza dominates from the start of the match. Owens gets some offense in. He looks for a cannonball towards the middle end of this match. His knee gives out. He has been hurt. Angel Garza beat the hell out of him before we went to break. Back from break, and he's just all dead, and it's just Wing Clipper, 1, 2, 3, Angel Garza wins. Wow. WWE did the smart thing. Now, Vega group went 1 for 1 tonight. Andrade made a loss, but Angel Garza picked it back up. Heel tactics, attack from behind at the beginning of the show, beat the hell out of the guy, main him, make sure that there was no possible goddamn way that he's going to lose this match, and Angel Garza won decisively. Kevin Owens hardly getting anything in. So I commend WWE for doing something right tonight with Angel Garza and Kevin Owens. After the match, Angel Garza attacks Kevin Owens again, taking him out. And that was that. So Angel Garza looking a little bit stronger tonight after that. Where is this going with Kevin Owens? I don't have a clue. It seems like Kevin Owens is a little lost in what to do. Now, with the new United States champion, Apollo Crews, there's a lot of things that can be happening. Maybe they turn Kevin Owens heel. He can go up against Apollo. Maybe Apollo can go up against Angel Garza. All I know is it's better not be a Ricochet thing where he gets the title for about 2 weeks and then loses it and gets squashed week after 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 week. And after that, we go to Humberto Carrillo and Aleister Black versus Murphy and Austin Theory. This, of course, is a combination of what happened last week. Austin Theory was ousted as a member of the Triangle for Zelina Vega's group, and then while he was out there still, Seth Rollins' disciple at the time, Buddy Murphy, was taking on Aleister Black. Rollins picked him up from the ashes, from the ground, and rechristened him his disciple. When is he going to become Theory? So we have Murphy and Theory, because that's just how this works. Not much else you can say about this match, really. It was a hell of a match. All 4 guys went out there and did what they could. The only problem with this match is all 4 guys needed a win. Humberto Carrillo is just fading away fast. He loses all the time. Of course, you don't want Buddy Murphy and Austin Theory to lose because they just been formed as a tag team, or Austin Theory just joined Seth Rollins' stable, and you don't want them to lose out of hand. Aleister Black is the only one that has any type of momentum, so having him lose would be terrible too. Of course, Humberto Carrillo takes the loss here, and he hit the ATL on Humberto Carrillo. Big L for him. That is that. After the match, Black gets tossed into the timekeeper area. Humberto Carrillo is then beat up and taken out. Looks like he's going to get the same treatment that Rey Mysterio is. Aleister Black's back up, gets into the ring, has a chair with him, and Seth Rollins is like, stop. Stop what you're doing. Stop it, or this kid loses an eye. And Seth Rollins says that I know what you guys are trying to do, but what Mysterio's sacrifice will be in vain if you get in our way. Don't make me sacrifice you as I did Rey Mysterio. They walk off. Black checks on Humberto Carrillo, and that was that. So Seth Rollins is becoming a lot more sadistic, and his disciples are taking the brunt of it too. They're all becoming a sadistic group of men as it goes. Edge is backstage. We'll find out what he has to say right after the break, which Edge, of course, having these backstage promos are just fantastic. He does some good work. Always has been one of the greatest talkers. I mean, ever since they first put the mic in front of his face during the Attitude Era, which kind of fucked over Gangrel, because Gangrel was supposed to be the talking piece for Edge and Christian, and when they found out, wait a minute, Edge can talk. Edge can speak. He can actually talk for himself. That fucked Gangrel over, and then Edge and Christian went on to do their own thing. But man, I can say this though, that the promos are great. But Edge and Christian, I mean, not Edge and Christian, but Edge and Randy Orton's match at WrestleMania was terrible. And they're still billing this match as the greatest wrestling match ever. Ed says, "You, Randy, you had me tongue-tied a few weeks ago. Now I'm doubting myself. My ability, I was retired for over 3,000 days." He said he had to think an exact number, but it's like, that's a lot of days. And in that time, you were in over 1,000, I think it was like 1,482 matches. He did his research. Wow. To go back that far just to see how many matches Randy Orton has been in since March of 2009, 2011. Wow, that's just wow. But now I have to prove myself. I want to thank you. I had to contemplate things I haven't for a while. When I went home after the show, and I watched the first episode of The Last Ride. When it's time, and then I was watching myself talk about pontificate, I think is what the word he says, pontificate retirement. When is it time to hang up the boots? And now he understands what the dead man's going through, and Randy, he says, "Randy, you want to doubt me? I've hung in the ring with Taker, HBK, Kurt Angle, not Chris Benoit, Owen Hart, and so on and so forth." He names like 20 names, and the list goes on and on. "I brought people to my level. I was a 5-tool workhorse for this company. Everything, but then he's like, but I mentioned how all of that was in the past tense, because that was from the start of his career to 9 years ago. And I don't know if I can do any of those anymore. But at Backlash, I will dig to the depths of my soul to try it all a man can do." So Edge, again, gave you a killer promo. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. I'm sure they'll put it on WWE. Tell it on WWE's YouTube page. And that was that. We go then to the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders, who earlier in the show, which I didn't talk about yet because I really don't want to, they were golfing. Yes, they were golfing. More shenanigans, more bullshit, more things I don't give a shit about. But they're trying to figure out what the next thing is going to be, because apparently the Viking Raiders allowed them to win again. Which, if you're doing anything you can do, we can do better kind of competition. Why are you letting them win? What the fuck? Why would you let somebody win? If I'm in a one-upsmanship competition, if I can beat you, I'm fucking beating you. I don't give a shit. But the Viking Raiders lead because I guess the next one's going to be bowling. MVP and Bobby Lashley come up, and MVP's like, just another case of wasted potential who would rather be clowns than champions. And Montez is like, Angela's like, "We have a problem." He's like, "No, we ain't got a problem. Just, you guys would rather waste your days away, dining around, bowling, golfing, whatever, while this guy over here is going to be challenging for the WWE Championship. Oh, and while you're at it, why don't you two face us later tonight? And if you can, bring that smoke." Here's my problem. One of my problems with WWE Raw. 9 weeks out of 10, unless it's a closing segment of like a contract signing or a face-to-face, we don't find out the main event of the fucking show until we're about 2.5 hours into the show. About 2 hours or whatever into the show. Does anyone else see a problem with that? This show, you should be advertising what we're going to see in the main event the week prior. Give people a reason to want to watch this show. I mean, yes, last week was the one time out of 10 that we actually got to see what happens when they advertise a week in advance. It wasn't a good main event. But if you're going to give me the Street Profits versus MVP and Lashley, we should know that at the beginning of the fucking show, not a couple hours later. Goddamn. That is the main event. That is later. Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax versus Natalya. Winner faces Asuka at Backlash. This was an okay match. The only big spots in this match were Nia Jax was on the apron, Natalya and Charlotte Flair. I give both these women commending for this because Nia Jax is not a light woman. Both of these women had her on their shoulder. And they picked her up from the apron and walked her all the way, which it's not a close. That's not that far of a distance, but it's still not close. They had to walk at least 3 or 4 feet to powerbomb her through the announce desk. That was a good spot. Then later on in the match, when Asuka throws Nia Jax back into the match, she was cheering and chanting for Natty. She wanted Natty to win this match no matter what. But Charlotte decides she's going to do a moonsault to Nia Jax. Nia Jax is not a small target. Nia Jax should be able to be landed on easily with a moonsault. What does Charlotte do? She does her moonsault, lands on her hips, and then falls on Nia Jax. It looked like fucking shit. There's a reason when she was originally in NXT, Triple H and the crew told her, we don't want you to do a moonsault. There is a fucking reason for it, Charlotte. It's not because they don't want you to do it. It's because they knew you can't do one right. God, it looked like shit. Like, my God, why would you fucking sit there? If you can't do a goddamn moonsault right, why the fuck do you keep doing it? Seriously. Nia Jax, again, is not a small woman. She's not like Kairi Sane's size. If she was like the size of Kairi Sane, I could understand possibly missing because of how tall Charlotte Flair is. But how the fuck do you miss that target? Seriously. I'm not trying to fat shame or anything, but I'm just saying she's a big woman. That should be something that if you do a moonsault, you should land on, no problem. But the fact that she hit her hips on the mat, then fell on Nia Jax, really made the thing look so bad. Charlotte Flair, I think it's time to retire the moonsault because you can't do one. You're dating Andrade, one of the best luchadors in the fucking world, who can do a goddamn moonsault. Why haven't you picked it up yet? Why can't you do a good moonsault? I don't understand it. God! Andrade, do us all a favor. Get her, if she wants to continue to do a moonsault, teach her how to do a fucking moonsault right. Man, it's fucked up. So, basically it's coming down to Charlotte Flair trying to get the figure eight onto Nia Jax. Natalya breaks that up. She has the sharpshooter on Charlotte. Nia breaks that up. Nia tries to go for a Samoan drop. Natalya stops that. Charlotte Flair tries to get a figure eight onto Natalya. Nia Jax hits her with a leg drop. That must not have felt good. Nia Jax finally gets Charlotte Flair out of the ring, puts Natalya in the Samoan drop, hits it 1, 2, 3, and she's moving on to Backlash. Charlotte Flair had no business in this match. I'm a little disappointed that WWE decided that they're not going to promote or use Shayna Baszler. They gave her that WrestleMania moment, that WrestleMania match for nothing. Vince McMahon does not want to push her, even though she is leagues better than anything Ronda Rousey was. I want to see Asuka versus Nia Jax. If it's going, not Nia Jax, but Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler should be dominating this women's division. She was nowhere to be found. If I'm Shayna Baszler, I'm pissed. I'm coming out and I'm wrecking this match and making sure nobody goes to Backlash. But that's just me. We hear from Gronk, don't care. We hear from Liv Morgan, who says she's one of her biggest roadblocks is self-worth, and then I hit the mute button because I don't care. They give me no reason to care about Liv Morgan. I know self-worth is a huge thing. I have that problem too, but it's just something that I don't know what it is. It's just I don't care about this thing. And I guess they're trying to promote that she's going to eventually go for the Raw Women's Champion and become a Women's Champion. I don't see it happening. She's okay in the ring, but she's not going to be somebody they're going to push. I mean, they spent weeks upon weeks at the end of the year last year promoting the new Liv Morgan and then dropped all that to bring her in to wreck the Bobby Lashley and Lana wedding by saying that she is a lesbian with Lana. And then that was not to go anywhere. It was just a way to pop people's interest. Just typical WWE. Street Profits and MVP, Street Profits was an MVP and Lashley was your main event. This was an okay match. Basically what happened is Lashley, not the big man. It's like Lashley dominated Street Profits the majority of the match. MVP got in there too. then Montez Ford tags in Angelo Dawkins. That he gets in on the House of Fire. He tags back in Montez. Go to break, come back, and when he comes down to it, Montez hits the frog splash. Lashley comes in because he couldn't get the pinfall, just to how much he's been beat up. Lashley, who's not the legal man, puts on the full Nelson. Referee's counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rings the bell. He's not letting go. Boom! Enter WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. These two have a huge brawl, huge fight, which the referee does. He's like, come on. He's like waving people to come in, and you think he's asking for more referees, when actually he's asking for the talent around the ring, or the guys around the ring, to come in and help. You have two scrubs come in. They get kissed out of the ring. Lashley hits a spear. You figure that could be it, and he just walks away with his head held high. No, they go back to fighting some more. More guys come in. They get beat up by Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. They go back to fighting. More guys come in, and they finally pull them up. And Drew McIntyre is saying, when I get out of here, I'm going to come after you and everything. And it's just, the show goes off the air with a bunch of performance center guys holding both of these guys back. As Drew McIntyre is saying, get off of me. Get off of me. And that was that. So, again, was it that hard to give us a Monday Night Raw with some kind of an audience? No, it was not. It took Vince McMahon weeks, like not a week, but it took Vince McMahon kicking and screaming to get the camera to where it is right now. And honestly, even if the crowds are allowed to come in a little bit, and they're not allowed, but they don't want to travel yet, and they still want to use the PC, this is where the camera should be no matter what, because the building is too fucking small for the normal hard cam. But again, so much different. John Moxley said it best on the after the post media scrum that they usually do. They had to do it via video chat this time, or via Zoom, and he said that it might be different, but it's 10 times better than having nobody there. Clear shot of what WWE was doing until this week. They tape this week. I'm sure they tape next week, so we have at least 2 weeks of a crowd. SmackDown will have the same thing. They're going to probably be taping tomorrow. Wednesday they'll tape NXT night 1 and 2, or week 1 and 2. So it wasn't a terrible show, which, by the way, before we get out of here and everything, WWE put in this show that they are going to be hosting Rey Mysterio's retirement ceremony next week. Bullshit. This is a work 100%. This is going to lead to Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins at Backlash. That is the only way I can see this going. Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins at Backlash. No doubt about it. So, that is all we had to say about that. This wasn't a terrible show. The crowd made so much difference. It was such a big difference. Hearing people boo, cheer. There were no what chants because this is WWE's crowd, so thank God for that. That is one thing about these fucking empty arenas. If you have talent in the crowd instead of actual fans, no fucking what chants, because that chant hopefully will be dead when we get crowds back. I'm just saying. But it was a okay show. It was an improvement on last week just because of the crowd alone. Let's see what they do next week. Backlash is not something I'm looking forward to seeing, but I'll be here for it anyway. But until then, my name is Franz. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. And if you're gonna comment, don't be one of those phony commenters like, "Oh, loved it," when you took 10, you open the video to put a fake comment on there and then close the video. I look at my watch times. Don't fucking tell me otherwise. But anyway, hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter at The France Club. Find me on Instagram at The France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/France Club. And I will see you guys Wednesday when we see Iron Mike Tyson in for AEW in a battle royal to see who faces Cody at the June 3rd episode on TNT. Until then, my name is France, and I'll see you guys later.